What's up, everybody? The week just flew by, didn't it? But it is Friday, and that means we're playing Final Fantasy, and life is good. So before we head into the Earth Cave, let's go ahead and use a cabin. Make sure we're saved up, healed up, and ready to rock. And let's double check our item count. We do have 62 heal potions, 20 pures, and 1 soft. So really quickly, let's talk about what we don't have, and that is maybe a couple extra softs we would like. And then I would really like to have silver bracelets on my mages. We didn't stop at the weapons and armor store in Melmond, where we could have purchased those, but I think we're just going to take a risk. This cave is not that dangerous. The only dangerous thing in here is the trapped chests in particular. So immediately to my left is a pathway known as the Hall of Giants. We are going to check that out, but not right now. Because, spoiler alert, we're going to have to come back here. And you'll probably noticed by now that I'm not leaving in all of the fights in here, because it's going to be a lot of monsters that we've already seen, and I find that the Marsh Cave is the most interesting one to leave all the fights in, because of the way the fights wear you down as they go on. In here, it's not nearly as bad, so I'm going to cut out the redundant ones. Okay. So this treasure room, it is trapped immediately to the right of the treasure box. It can be avoided by coming down here. 1900 gil, almost 2000. That's nice, but we are, of course, going to do the trap. So this is going to be an Earth Elemental. There he is. These guys are not a joke. And I'm going to have Doc throw a fog up on himself because he is the most important person to keep alive. Because he has that life spell now. Okay, attacking Skittle, that's good, but you can see how devastating their physical attack is. 19 damage is not good from that fire spell. But let's hit him with one more, I think. I don't really want to burn a fire 2 on this. I'm just hoping to get lucky on his attacks. And one more attack from Skittle should do it. So let's hope he doesn't crit either of the mages or something. Yeah, that's perfect. 75 damage to Skittle is quite a bit. And you can see we get a fairly reasonable reward. Ooh, and Skittle levels up. That's perfect. But I haven't really decided yet if I'm going to do every single one of these, because they could end up chewing through all of our heal potions prematurely, which I would not enjoy. But we'll see. We'll see how we're doing as we come across them. I believe bulls are new, but I will definitely have to double check. But these guys are nothing too special. Fairly strong physical attackers, but pretty much just regular enemies. And that's kind of the nice thing about this place, is that, you know, you could be forgiven for thinking after doing the Marsh Cave that all of the dungeons are going to be like that, but not all of them are nearly that bad. In fact, very few of them are as brutal as that place is. But we will definitely be checking out the weapons and armor stores when we get back to Melmond, because there are some things of note there. So, we're going to want to head south. Oh, not that south. That's how they get you. This way south. And there will be a bit of a fork here. And both to the right and the left there will be treasure rooms, and we're definitely going to want to raid those. Now this one, the trap is between the two chests, top right, if you think of it as a square. So we're going to go ahead and avoid that at first. 795 gil, and I believe there's just more gil. Oh, a pure potion. Neat. That does make it an odd number, which is mildly upsetting, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and attack this Earth Elemental. I just noticed that Wilbo's hit points are pretty low. I may need to hit him with a fire too. If he hits Wilbo once, he's dead and this trip is over. Well, maybe not. I do have one life spell. Okay, attacking Skittle is good. I could really use a crit out of Skittle. That would be nice. Yep, let's just do a regular fire. I don't want to run out. Please don't attack Wilbo. 30 damage is not bad. Woo, okay. When you see that incoming on a spellcaster, you're just, like, bracing yourself. Oh, look at me. Critical hit for the win. All right. Let's make sure Wilbo's more healed up than that. All right, that ought to be good. So you can see the the Earth Elementals are not a huge threat by any stretch of the imagination, but they do hit pretty hard. And since we're going to try to do all of them, that can definitely wear down your item count pretty quickly. Now this trap is going to be in front of the chest on the right. Let's go ahead and avoid it at first. I do like an extra heal potion, that's nice, but just one is so paltry that it's almost an insult. So let's get in there again. And you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and use a fast. I am getting super lucky with those attacks on Skittle, and I got to get the fast up before he went. That is fantastic. I'm amazed that didn't bring him down, but I should know better. I am critting like an absolute champion right now, though. That ought to do it, yeah. Okay, that wasn't so bad. But you can see we are burning through these heal potions at a somewhat alarming rate. But fortunately, on this trip, we don't have to go too deep. But we will have to go deep enough to murder that vampire. That is for sure. So now that we've gotten all of the treasure rooms in here, we can head to our right. Alright, we just met a whole bunch of spiders, and they poisoned nearly all of us. But poison is not nearly as big of a deal as paralysis is. Which is one of the things that makes this so much less dangerous. But we are ready to head to Basement 2 now. And this is where things get kind of interesting and kind of cool, I think. So as you'll see, our annoying bat friends are back again. And this whole thing is a series of interlocking rooms. So it's very maze-like. Alright, we just got beat up by some gargoyles pretty badly, particularly Wilbo. This is when those silver bracelets would really come in handy. But I think we're gonna be fine. Yeah, so we can come this way. And there'll be a treasure room right over here. Yep, you do want a stock of pure potions for this place, for sure. But let's see what we can find in here. Now, there are no traps in here. But we do find a coral sword, and that is going to be a minor upgrade for me. It's got pretty much exactly the same stats as the dragon sword, but it's going to have a slightly higher crit rate, which is, in fact, an improvement, but not a huge or particularly exciting one. Cabin will replace the one we used on the way here. That's always nice. And 330 gil. Okay. Moving on. Now we'll want to go left here and head south. The long pathway to the right is the way to basement 3. But we don't want to go that way just yet because we want to hit this treasure room over here. Let's go ahead and use some of those handy pure potions. And what will we find in here? An earth elemental, of course. He traps the first tile on the door, which means we're going to have to fight this guy twice. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do a fast. That seemed to work really well last time. Oh, and you get a look at my cool new pink sword. And hopefully this earth elemental doesn't just crush one of my spellcasters. Perfect. I am getting very, very lucky with these. I don't know when that's going to run out, but I hope it's never. The nice thing about using fast is then I only end up using one spell for the fight, which I was a little bit inefficient about before now. Which could get us in trouble, but I think we're going to be fine. Wooden shield, that is worthless other than for selling purposes, and it's not even worth much there. But the real prize is 5,000 gil. That's awesome. Yeah, we're up to 21,000. Perfect. And here he is again. Didn't we just kill you? I don't even really want to use the fast here. And I can't use a fire 3 either. That could end up being an issue. Well, let's hit him with fire. And I'm starting to get a little bit worried. My spell charge count is a little bit low, and we still have an entire floor to go. So I think we're going to have to end up avoiding some of these trap chests. I don't think I'm going to be able to do them all. Yeah, I'm almost out of, like, basic fire, too. That's a concern. Certainly a concern. But I'm not too worried just yet. Because there is only one more unavoidable earth elemental in here, and I think we can take him on. But fortunately, this first treasure room is not going to have any traps, which is always nice. We get a tent, nothing wrong with that. That will be useful once we get out of here, so it's not too scary at all. And unfortunately, the coral sword is really the only exciting piece of treasure in here, but we are going to, of course, collect it all. So we're going to have to head right and go ahead and grab that first treasure room. But first, of course, we've got to cure ourselves of poison. Just absolutely chugging pure potions at this point. And let's get back in formation, shall we? And let's see what we'll find in here. You can't see it, but they are really throwing a lot of obnoxious formations at me, so I'm having to run away a lot. So let's see here. This one's going to be straight in front of it, so if you just walk straight up, you can avoid it, and that's what we're going to do this time. I certainly don't want to get turned back. Doing every single earth elemental is... I think these are new. I don't think we've seen specters before. But this can pretty easily get cleared out with a nice little harm 2. I don't think I'm going to burn my Fire 2, so we'll just do that and hope he doesn't get paralyzed. But what I was going to say is, taking on every single Earth Elemental, that is not good. Oh dear. Is going to be more difficult than is necessary, for sure. As much as I would like to, I can at least tell you where they are. And who knows, if somebody really wants to see me do every single one of those, I'll definitely... We have to come back, so I could always pop back in and do them. But, you know, leave me a comment if that's something you want to see. I imagine, though, that most people probably don't care that much. For example, nobody cared whether I got Cure 2 or Heal 2, nobody left me a comment, and while that is a little embarrassing, in a way, it's a little like when a band says everybody come up to the front and no one does it, but you know what, they play the song anyway. And that's what we're gonna do. So we will actually eventually have to stop back and get one of those two. But I'll make an executive decision, and I'm gonna say we're gonna grab Cure 2 when the time comes. So this one is going to be trapped right in front of it again, so if you just walk straight up, we get to snatch up 3,400 gil. Awesome. We are gonna be rich by the time we get out of here, and we need to be. We have a lot of very expensive spells and equipment still to buy. So this room up here is going to be empty, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. Full of bats, our best friends. It's just a classic trick. I'm going to go ahead and leave this one in because, wow. All right. I hope this harm 2 gets off. So actually, we're going to do the what we did in the Marsh Cave. I'm going to have Skittle fight, I'm gonna have me run, I'm gonna have Doc fire off a harm 2, and Wilbo fire off a fire 2, because running with everyone, there's a very reasonable chance that that's not gonna work. Like, the paralysis will just get you, and then you didn't even give yourself a chance to wipe the enemy formation. But that is, unfortunately, my very last Fire 2 spell. But for a last Fire 2 spell, it's a pretty sweet one. Just killed 9 enemies with one spell, you gotta love that. But I did tell you they are throwing some obnoxious formations on me. So, to the left there and down is a dead end, so we're gonna head this way. And this is the Unavoidable Earth Elemental, so let's make sure we're ready to go for this. Because I've been very lucky with these, and I have some concerns about this one. Yeah, we'll burn my last fast on this. And hopefully get through this fairly unscathed. Don't you dare hit one of my mages, Earth Elemental. Thank you. Wow. I know it's a 50% chance, but it feels like... I guess it just sticks out in your mind more when they just destroy one of your mages, and you're like, there was a 1/8 chance of 0.125 for that. And it happened anyway, but we got through that no problem at all. 1,000 gil for our trouble, and now it's time to head towards the final room. So we've gone through roughly 40 heal potions, but that's because we've been doing these Earth Elementals for the most part. So, here is our final room, and there is the vampire, and I have a pretty choice meme for this occasion. It is Moon Knight saying, "I know you're in here, Dracula, you big fucking nerd, where's my goddamn money?" And that's what we say to this vampire, let's get him. And he says, "All living things were born to die. No one can defeat me, the vampire." And for a vampire, he is suitably goth, but we are absolutely going to destroy this man. I don't even need to drop like Fire 2, like this is gonna be devastating. He may die this round. Yep, there he goes. Take that, Dracula. Nobody rots the earth under Melmond on my watch. So what's this back here? We found a ruby. Now, we know that that's the Titan's favorite. But what could be behind this room here? Let's check it out. There's like a huge plate on the floor. Pretty much exactly that. There is a stone plate on the floor. You sense something evil? But we can't continue, which means we gotta trudge out of here. So let's get right to it. But since we know that that Titan loves rubies, we can go ahead and give that to him. So we've got to make it all the way back out of here, through this maze. And then we've got to come all the way back down to deal with removing that plate. But we killed the vampire, so everything should be all fixed, right? These bats. Why? And once again, everyone is poisoned, because why wouldn't they be? And let's get back in formation as usual. These bats, I'm telling you. Oh, come on, dude. Key, he says. Even the red ones don't have anything new to say. They're just there to block your path and make your life absolutely miserable. Okay, yeah. I'm forgetting where I'm supposed to go. I'm flapping my lips so much I'm getting lost in here. But we're good, we're good. This is, in fact, the way out. The main thing you don't want to do is take a wrong turn into the Hall of Giants and end up super dead. Ooh, and Doc gets level 13, that's great. I hope that means an extra life spell, but maybe not yet. Alright, Wilbo hits level 13, that's great. That's gonna make the trip back through here pretty easy. Alright. I am, of course, poisoned. By me, I mean Doc. Doc is poisoned. "20 heal potions is becoming concerning." I really didn't want to sail back to, like, Elfland or somewhere, but I may end up having to do that, which is a minor tragedy. You know what? No, we're not gonna do that. What we're gonna do is make it back to town and upgrade our stuff, particularly our mage armor, and we're just gonna tough it out. That's what we're gonna do. Because we are almost out of here. And if I can make it out, then I can use my cabin, for example. And that should get me back to town. I didn't need to take that step while poisoned. I just really wanted to get out of there. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and let's use the tent. We do actually have a lot of HP. Maybe we don't even need to do that. Yeah, let's not. But we are going to make a beeline for Melmond to get those upgrades I was talking about. Ooh, and I'm level 13? Awesome. And we could probably grab some new spells, too. How much money do we have right now? 36,000? Oh, yeah. We're doing great. So, let's first go ahead and talk to everyone and see if they have anything new to say now that we've killed the vampire. Are you the Light Warriors? How'd you guess? The vampire is gone, but the earth still rots? It does. The vampire was not responsible for it. And that's a good reminder, Sarda does not fear the evils of the cave. Now, we did sense something evil beneath the plate. So we really want to talk to Sarda, and we know that the Titan in the tunnel eats rubies. So, before we get headed out here, why don't we go ahead and sell our dragon sword? And then we also have a wooden shield to sell. The inn's right here, so let's pop on by. And where did that armor shop get to? I think it's in the top there. So we've already talked to you. I think he's still just investigating. Yep. See if the sage has anything new to say. Yep, we are planning on doing that for sure. Yep, we know that already. But let's go ahead and get rid of that wooden shield. And why don't we talk to the sage over here, since we're here? Yep, nothing new there. Well, Melmond will be a beautiful town again, I will tell you that. Yep, there's that wooden shield, 7 gil, awesome. But now that we're here, actually, let's take a look at the stock. So right off the bat, that should jump right out at you. Steel armor for 45,000 gil. The steel armor is very good, there is no doubt about that. It is 10 more absorbed than the iron armor, and the iron armor is already ridiculous. However, 10 absorb I don't think is worth 45,000 gil when we have all these spells to buy. So I think we're going to skip this unless we manage to afford it at some point somehow. But we will be finding stuff that's better than the iron armor soon enough. So I'm really not going to worry about it. But it is another one of those, just your eyes bulge out of your head, another ridiculous piece of equipment. What we're most interested in, though, is getting 2 silver bracelets for our mages. That's going to be a huge improvement on their absorb. Let's go ahead and put those on. And now it's going to, of course, be the same as the one I'm wearing, so my absorb is 17. My mage's absorb is currently 6. Yep. So let's put these on. And that is, of course, going to bump it right up to 17, which is such a huge improvement. And we're going to sell off our old copper bracelets. Nobody wears copper anymore. It's all about silver now. Kind of wish I was wearing more silver to go vampire hunting. That's kind of flavorful. But the vampire's already dead. And for Doc, we're going to go ahead and definitely pick up Heal 2. I mentioned it already, but this spell is ridiculous. And I think we're going to skip Cure 3. And my reasoning is that Heal 2 in combat basically heals every single one of your party members as much as a single Cure 3 would. So you really just don't need it. But we are definitely going to pick up Harm 3. Obviously, you love your undead nukes. And now Doc's spellbook is all filled out. Whoops. Let's check that out. And he does have 2 lives now, which is crazy good. And let's check out Wilbo. He's going to need some level 5 magic here as well. So let's go grab that. I think we can afford 1 more. Really close to 2, but we won't worry about it too much. And we are going to go ahead and grab Bane right off the bat. I already talked about that one, but just as a refresher, it is a poison elemental KO spell and has one particular really amazingly cool use. Now, I have 4 cabins, a tent, and 20 heal potions and 9 pure potions to do this. This is definitely a bit of a risk, but I said I wasn't going to sail back, and we're just not going to do that. But we do need to go visit Sarda, the sage, who lives in a place beyond the Titan's tunnel. Took kind of a weird way to get there, but that's okay. Ooh, Ooh, tigers are new. These are not super dangerous, but they're definitely not a joke. But I'm gonna try not to waste any magic on them. But you do meet these in the Titan's Tunnel as well. Ooh, nice hit by me. Not too often I get to say that. Fortunately, they don't do anything particularly special. They just can hit kind of hard. But our silver bracelets should protect us from that pretty well. Ooh, and Skittle hits 13. You gotta love it. All right, let's give him the ruby. If you want pass, give me the ruby. Crunch, crunch, crunch. It tastes so sweet. Rubies are my favorite. And then he just vanishes. It's a little like when you give your dog a treat and he takes it into the other room to enjoy it alone in there. All right, unfortunately, these won't be trapped. This is just a fun treasure room, so let's check it out. So this is the Great Axe. Axes are just straight up bad in this game. The only interesting thing about the Great Axe is this is the only place you can find it, but they have slightly more damage and worse hit rate, and as I've explained, hit rate is what you care about. That's your double hits, so extra damage really doesn't matter. It does look cool, but we're just going to end up selling it. 620 gil, 450 gil, and a silver helmet. Now that is actually an upgrade, unlike the silver armor. So we're going to put that on immediately, and let's just check out our absorb just for fun. 38. That is so ridiculous. And think, we could have 10 more. We could have nearly 50 absorb at this point. But now that we've successfully raided the treasure room, we can go visit Sarda the Sage and see what he has to say about all this evil. And we are gonna have to use our tents and cabins judiciously to make it there. Oh, I love this song. Look at his various potions and concoctions. Typical sage stuff, you know what I mean? All right, here he is. What do you have to say, Sarda? So Sarda says, use this rod behind the vampire's room. Hiding deep inside, you will find the cause of the Earth's rot. So we are finally going to be able to get to the bottom of this. And I'm really looking forward to that. Now, I'm not so sure that the rod... I'm not so sure how it's used. Do we use it to smash the plate? Like, do you strike the plate with the rod? Or is the rod literally just like, I don't know, a tire iron? You know, just like a lever to get some leverage on the plate. All right, so back to the Earth Cave for us. Armed with our trusty rod, we're gonna get rid of that plate, whether it means smashing it or using leverage. All right, so we do have a bunch of cabins, so why don't we go ahead and use one of those? And I'm just gonna go ahead and use another one so we're ready to go here. I'm missing a few hit points, but that's no big deal. This time through is gonna be lots faster because we're not really hitting any treasure rooms. And we are, of course, poisoned to bejesus and back. You know, every time I do that, I suspect there's a more efficient way to do it than the way I've done it. I could be right about that, but probably not. But I'm oh dear. I was going to say, but I'm always interested in doing things as efficiently as possible. It could be because I'm German. It certainly could be. And we're back in the maze of rooms again, but we remember how to get through here, right? Not gonna get lost this time. Famous last words, of course, but we are starting to get low on pure potions. This is definitely a risk that we've taken here. We're still doing fine on HP, in particular thanks to those silver bracelets. I missed somebody. Poor Doc, look at how sad he looks. Don't forget about me. Oh my god, what am I doing? We are down to 3. We do still have the Pure Spell on Doc. So I've got 6 total, which is slightly comforting. I am glad I bought the Pure Spell after all. It allows me to do silly, risky things like this. Oh. These bats, I'm telling you. It's like they know where you want to go, and they're like, we are just gonna block you, and there's nothing you can do. We know you killed thousands of monsters before running into me, but we cannot be touched by you. Oh, God. I'm getting scared. It's one of those things where as soon as you say, oh, dungeon, you're not as bad as the Marsh Cave, the dungeon's like, well, I got something to prove to you now. Okay, cockatrice are new, and these are the reasons you want the soft potion, so we are going to run for our lives. Don't do it. Oh my god, okay. We can only fix one person from Petrify, so if it's more than one, we're just done here. That was scary. That was certainly terrifying. Okay. And look at that, we're already almost to the plate. So now we've got to go in here and use it. The plate shatters, revealing a stairway. Well, I guess that answered my question, although I don't know if we use the rod to actually smash it, or if you kind of hold it up like a magic item. Considering the fact that this is a fantasy environment... Oh my god, it's wizards. Okay. I'm gonna leave this in just to show that these become just like a regular enemy later on in the game. These aren't bosses anymore. Let's hit them with a lit 2. But we are much, much stronger now, so I don't think they're gonna be too much of a problem. And I still can't drop the last one. Of course not. But it just goes to show how far we've come as a fighting force. It's funny where they're not even that scary, but like, I'm so used to them in their natural environment, which is kicking your ass in the Marsh Cave, that I get scared anyway. Alright, so on this floor we are going to have 2 treasure rooms to raid, but fortunately they're just kind of right on the way. And now the traps here are just directly in front of the top 2, so we can just walk straight up. Wooden staff, that is useless. 3,400 gil, that is great. And now, over here, it's going to be straight to the right of the bottom chest, and then between the 2. So, we can avoid them by doing this. because it allows me to avoid... Boy, this is getting scary, I'm telling you. The trap in between the top and bottom chest here. So 5,000 gil, that's just great. And we really do want to avoid these because we're so light on items. Out of the way, Bat, come on. And 1,500 gil. That's quite the haul. And I realized in that last fight my formation is still wrong, so why don't we go ahead and fix that quick. And now we just head this way. And we want to go to the left first. Because over here is going to be another treasure room. Now, this one... Yeah, we can avoid all of them again. So they're going to be on the side of this first one. So this one you can approach from the front, like so. And then the other two are going to have them in front. So we can walk straight up the middle here. Silver shield, and that is actually an upgrade, and actually a pretty decent one as far as shields go. It's going to be 4 more absorb, which is fantastic. What are we up to now? 42. That is so great. Skittle is just indestructible, and I love it. And how much money have we made so far? Man, 28,000 already? Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to afford the steel armor. But I'm fairly inclined to just skip it, so we probably still will. And now that we've raided all the treasure rooms, there's only one thing left to do. And that's solve the mystery of the rot of the earth. And if you're starting to think, is this going to be a boss fight? Very astute, yes it is. And oh man, I'm excited for this. I can't wait to show you this. Okay, let's make sure we're healed up. And here we go. The Fiend's ball cracks open. An ominous cloud rises and an evil shape congeals. It is Lich, the Fiend of Earth. Let's go. Look at that art. Oh man, do I love this pixel art. So the first thing I want to point out is that when you, how you know this is a boss fight, despite the fact that the music is the same, is that you don't have to select anything when you click fight. Like, it just happens. The arrow doesn't go on him. He's the only thing there. Look at him. He's huge. He's a scary skeleton. And he is very vulnerable to harm. So what I'm going to do is throw down a harm 3 and a fire 3. He has 400 hit points, and he is vulnerable to both harm and fire. But we are not doing much damage, so we'll see about the spells, and then I may change tactic. 100 is pretty good. Yeah, and he begins with Ice 2, which is pretty gnarly. That messed us up pretty good, but fortunately, he's not going to do that again right away. So I think what I'll do is just keep bashing him with these. They should take him down. We could be using fast, but I kind of like jamming my level 5 magic. Bam, and there goes Lich. And now what that means is we're going to get to walk straight up. I'm going to heal up, though. I don't want to just get dropped by a random encounter. Just feeling so good after doing that boss fight and walking out of here with, like, the absolute bare minimum of potions I could have survived this dungeon with. I feel pretty good right now. And what that is our orb, you can see in the top left, is lit up again. So we are the Light Warriors, and we are reviving the power of the orbs. How cool is that? And conveniently, this tile is going to teleport us out of there. So let's head back to Melmond. But I have to say, I love the design of the Earth Cave scenario. You go down there, you fight the vampire, but then you find something even more evil. While all of the fiends are evil, the way that the vampire is evil and then Lich is a mean-looking skeleton with like a huge purple robe feels the most evil of any of the environments. The first thing I'm going to do is hit the inn. And let's talk to the townsfolk and see what they have to say. Still asking for the Light Warriors. Is that not clear by now? We did one. No one seems to care that we killed Lich. There we go, Light Warriors. Thanks to you, the Earth is beginning to revive. We're saving Melmond. And I'm just gonna double check, but it doesn't seem like anyone really has anything new to say except the one guy. Oh, the dwarf who was investigating also has the same thing to say. But since we're over here, why don't we go ahead and finish Black Magic? I think I'm gonna skip Warp. As much as I don't care for debuffs particularly, I'm gonna try out Slow 2. And I think I'm done with Doc, right? Let me double check that. Yeah, Doc's all done. All right. So then we've got 25,000 to spare. That's still not enough for the steel armor, but once again, I think we're just going to skip it. Seems unnecessary. So let's ask Dr. Ewan if he has anything new to say. Nope. All right, people of Melmond, you're welcome. Look, the Earth Orb is shining again. It sure is. And isn't that great? Well, Melmond will be a beautiful town again, I promise you that, now that the Earth is beginning to revive. But that's it for the Earth Cave, and that's it for Melmond. We are going to have to move on to the next town and the next adventure, but that's going to have to wait until next time, of course, because I'm all out of time for today. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next Final Fantasy Friday.